Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Squeeze.
The squeeze.
What?
The squeeze.
Oh. How are you doing that?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Squeeze.
I didn't know
It's
you
really
could do
not that impressive.
I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, it just sounds really cool in these headphones.
Fun fact, when I was a kid, like when I was 10, we had a neighbor friend of ours who became a good friend of me and my family's, and he was a DJ on Kiss FM.
Oh.
And he would let me every Thursday come on and do a little segment.
Oh.
And I had done nothing. I hadn't even done Shark Boy by this point. I was 10. And I would introduce one of the top 10 songs. I'd be like, "Hey guys, it's Taylor Lautner. Welcome to 102.7 Kiss FM. I'm here to, announce the number 6 song in the top 10 this week."
Oh my gosh.
Something I know, an Evanescence song.
Wow.
Yeah, was one that I introduced. Anyways, yeah, I've tickled the ivories with radio.
Wow.
Back in the day.
Wow. Look at you.
Thanks. Well, what are we doing here?
That's a good question. Just getting it out. We're doing an episode of The Squeeze.
We're doing an episode of The Squeeze.
Yeah.
And yeah. How are you feeling? How is your mental health? How is your physical health? And just where are you at in life entering this episode?
Great. Had a great week.
Okay.
I feel like been very productive. It's been a busy week, but it's been a really, really good week. Filled with lots of fun things, and I'm happy to be doing this. So my physical health is good too. Worked out quite a few times this week.
Yeah, you've been crushing it. Very proud of you.
Which is not the norm for me, but we're getting there. We're doing it. But yeah, I've been. Last week was a bit questionable, but this week is good. This week.
Week by week.
Week by week. Day by day.
I wanted to open up this episode by just quickly addressing a video that I put out on my Instagram a few weeks ago. And I just wanted to, it was a video where I talked about, some comments that weren't so nice that I saw. And I just wanted to clarify that I did not make that video to start any hate or negativity or by any means be like, pity me. I'm the only person that goes through this. Was quite the opposite, actually. It really, thankfully, I said this in the video, but thankfully I'm in a place now where it didn't bug me or hurt me as much as it would have a while ago. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that it does. And I don't know, I got a little defensive, and I wanted to make a video that really just served as a reminder, because I feel like we all need to be reminded, myself included, Tay included, all of us. We need to be reminded time to time just the impact that our words can have on somebody, even when you don't know it. And it's so difficult because it is so easy to talk and say things and voice your opinions without thinking beforehand. I am incredibly guilty of that. But yeah, really, I just wanted it to be a reminder to anybody that needed to hear it that, hey, be kind and try and think before you speak, because our words are impactful.
Yeah.
Even when you don't know it, even when it's towards people you don't know. So yeah, yeah, the response to the video was great, and it seemed like it did touch a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I was happy about it, but I just wanted to clarify the reasoning behind making it. Now that I've got that out of the way, we can jump into this episode.
Yeah.
Because this episode, we have something very fun to announce.
We have some very special guests with us today. Very
Yes.
special.
Honestly, maybe my favorite guest so far.
Yeah, probably.
Your guests today are us.
Wow!
That's it.
Surprise! Everyone's like, really?
Yeah, right? Yeah, cue everybody logging out. No,
Don't
it's
go anywhere,
going to
please.
be great. We chose to do this because we've had a lot of requests from people ever since we've really even started the podcast, and from like our friends, family, people we know, on the email, just like so many requests for us to occasionally do an episode, just the two of us, talking about whatever is on our mind.
Yeah.
So moving forward, we're going to sprinkle in.
Yeah. We'll sprinkle them in, and be sure to, you can email us, the lautner.thesqueezepodcast@gmail.com. If you guys have topics that you guys want us to talk about, questions, you can leave them down in the comments. While you're in the comments, go ahead and subscribe and give the video a little like. But yeah, we're excited to do this.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I loved interviewing you when we started this thing.
I guess we haven't done this in a little bit, just the two of us.
Yeah, definitely not. But I'm stoked.
Stoked.
We did. Tay put a story out and asked people for ideas of questions. And I think one of the biggest topics that came up and has been coming up for a long time that people want us to just kind of talk about is, it's funny because we don't view it this way. I mean, we know it is this way. I mean, it's not anymore. Tay's a superstar.
Oh my goodness. Hey, you beat me. You passed me on followers on TikTok, so not anymore.
Oh, okay. Anyways, people love the idea of a famous person dating a not famous person.
Yeah. That's like one of the first questions that people, after, it's literally always like the name question.
Yeah.
It's a comment about us having the same name, and then the question of a normal person dating a celebrity is the next one. But that's kind of been a question that's been asked us like our whole relationship, and a lot recently for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
A lot of questions recently from people watching, people through social media, people in our lives. So we decided to do an episode on it. And
not a whole episode on it, but
we'll touch on topics.
Going to be something.
So definitely, there's definitely a lot to unpack there with, the dynamic of our relationship, the dynamic of our mental health during, parts of it.
Why don't we go back to the very beginning?
The very, very beginning.
When we first started dating, well, I do want you to tell this story because it is an incredible story. But when we first started dating, we did kind of make the choice to try and keep our relationship private for as long as possible. And I think that just came from...
Well, I mean, you've definitely been private with your relationships, and you're not going to like just start posting about some random girl, a month after knowing her.
Yeah, of course you'd want to make sure something is like solid before announcing it. But I knew we were solid and going to be something special, right off the very top. And we were together for, what was it, like 7, 8, 9 months before we announced it.
Yeah, 10 probably.
Yeah. because we announced it on Halloween
Yeah.
or the day after. And we started dating the beginning of that year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did last a while longer than I thought we would before talking about it. But yeah, I think for the biggest reason was I have had public relationships in the past,
Yeah.
and it adds a whole new layer and level to the relationship that
Yeah.
is just not normal.
Yeah.
And it's tough enough navigating any relationship,
Yeah.
right? But then add in everybody else's opinions and people picking your relationship apart and
Yeah.
people following you and privacy loss, just like all of the different things that come with a public relationship. It's like, man, relationships are tough.
Yeah.
Add all that in. And it's just a lot. So I wanted to protect what we had, and you were so understanding of that. And I mean, that's how I knew she was the one, is not once was she like, really? Like,
Yeah.
can you talk about me? Like, I need people to know that you're with me. Like, she didn't care at all. I mean, clearly it took 10 months of us dating before we talked about it. So yeah, I mean, I think it was great, but I think that's where that came from, just the wanting to keep it as something special to ourselves for as long as we could.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm definitely happy about it that we did it that way.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. You just don't want to like you said, it definitely adds pressure. So we were able to really grow in our relationship and learn about each other without any outside forces. Obviously there was some things here and there, but it wasn't
Yeah, I was going to ask, I mean, were your feelings ever hurt? Were they ever like, really? I wish he would, talk about me, show me off, because we all want to feel like our person is like proud of us and want to like put us on this pedestal and like
yeah.
show us off to the world.
I don't think I was ever upset about it at all, especially just because he did a very good job of making me feel important in real life. When we would go out or when we go wherever, you would still introduce me as your girlfriend,
Of course.
you weren't this is my friend. We weren't that crazy about it.
Well, that would have been a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that probably would have been.
Would have been a deal breaker.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah. Definitely going out and not holding hands in the beginning was probably an adjustment.
Yeah.
Because I was probably this is odd. But
Yeah.
I mean, I understood. And who am I to ask? I mean, not who am I, because it is valid for me to ask questions, but to understand, the whole world was so new to me. So to understand that, I mean, didn't really take long, but you just made me feel so comforted. So I don't think I ever was hurt. And definitely the holding hands out in public or affection out in public was an adjustment. But
that was tough for me too, because, I am a physical touch.
Yeah. Hand holder, hair
kind of
twister.
Guy. So yeah, that was painful.
Yeah. But I mean, you definitely just did a good job at validating me. I remember one time I think we were flipping through channels or something, and Shark Boy and Lava Girl was on, and I filmed part of it and put it on my Snapchat, and you were like, why'd you put that up? And I was like, because it was funny. And at first I was like, is he really not wanting me to put that on my Snapchat? That is just a few people, I mean, not a few people. It was people I went to high school with, whatever. And your response or your reasoning behind it, I just found very profound. You were like,
I have no idea what you were about ready to say, and
do
not remember this. So
you're like, I don't want our first public thing being a video of me as a 12-year-old shark. Like, I want it to be us.
As a 12-year-old shark.
Yeah. You're like, I want it to be us together. Like, and like, that's like, I think it soon after that, we did end up going public. But at first I was like, I can't put Shark Boy on my Snapchat. And then I don't have a Snapchat anymore, just if anyone's wondering, if there's a fake account out there. But at first I was like, I got like a little defensive, but then you were like, explained it and you were like, I want it to be us. I don't want like you just putting me as a little shark on your story being like, what is the first thing that people know about us? And I was like, hey, that's like really valid and really sweet.
Okay.
That's so funny. You don't remember that?
No,
That's so
not
funny.
at all.
That's so funny. Wrote that.
I'm very proud of that 12-year-old little shark, just to clarify. So normally I like to get dressed up for you guys. So usually when we record, I put on my best pair of jeans and a nice shirt. Meanwhile, Girl Tay is pretty much always in sweats because she really values comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And so do I. But I try. But today I feel like I've come over to the dark side.
Yeah.
And I said, screw it.
Yeah.
It's a comfort kind of day.
Yeah. I love being cozy.
And it feels good.
Yeah. Coziness is great.
I get it. And cozy and cute is even better.
Yeah. You know what's cozy and cute?
Huh.
Cozy Earth's luxury line of loungewear.
Oh. I see what you did there.
You guys have heard us talk about it before, and we will continue to talk about it because
we will not shut up.
We will not. We just love Cozy Earth, from their bedding to their loungewear. We use their stuff all the time. We sleep in it every night.
On the daily.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, their stuff is made from bamboo, and it's great. It's some of the softest material.
If you think about it, it's actually what we spend most of our time in, because we sleep in it every night.
Yeah.
All night. And then even we wear their stuff during the day or pajamas before bed. We legit
spend a decent amount of time in their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're big fans of Cozy Earth, and Cozy Earth has provided us an exclusive offer for you guys today, up to 35% off site-wide when you use code The Squeeze. So go ahead and head to their website, Cozy Earth, for 35% off with code The Squeeze.
It's a great deal.
Go get cozy.
Go get cozy.
The day we posted, it was the morning after. Were you going to go into this?
No.
Oh. Was the morning after our Halloween party that we threw. And we just had like such a good night. Like hosting a party together. We barely even like saw each other throughout the night, but it was like, we were like, when we saw each other, we were like, you good? You good? Yeah. Love you. Like, we were like,
it was business.
Just like but like in sync and loving business. Like we were obviously had things to do. we were hosting a bunch of people.
We love to throw.
But it was
parties.
like just like a cool thing we had never done before. And the next morning, I was sitting on the couch and you came up to me and you were just like saying like that you were ready to share, and that last night just showed a new level of us and our relationship and how strong we are. And
yeah, there was something about the two of us putting together this big old party and event for all of our separate friends to come together in one place.
Yeah.
And just something about the two of us doing that together and seeing all of the people we were able to get to come together and just have the best night ever.
Yeah.
And just feeling like proud of us.
Yeah.
And
I cried when you were like, I'm ready to post. I cried. I got a little emotional because I was excited. And then like the next 24 hours, I feel like we're just chaos. And not really for us, but just like online was chaos. That was the first time I've ever seen like my name or face in articles. It was like, I think the first one was like Enos that posted.
Taylor Dome?
Yeah. It was kind of weird seeing all that stuff. But
can we quickly, before we continue on, in the chronological story, just jump back to the moment where we were starting to talk. And shortly after we started to talk, I had to go to London to film a show called Cuckoo. And before I left, I said to Tay, I was like, we'd been talking at this point for like 3 weeks. And I was like, by the way, like, I have to leave in February to go to London to film a show. Like, no pressure whatsoever. I know that you've known me for 3 weeks, but if you want to come, would love to have you visit. And I did not think she actually would or consider it. But thankfully she did. She was only 20 at the time. She was a baby. And yeah, I mean, so then February, so I guess a month and a half, 2 months into us talking, you came to London. And it was, I mean, people that we have told this story are like, oh my gosh, that's like the Princess Diaries moment.
Yeah.
Because it was Tay's first time, like, traveling overseas, like by the way, I didn't pay for this. This was production, but first class on like British Airways, like a first class lounge and
a lay flat seat.
You just got to tell the story really quickly because it's just so funny. She didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I didn't like tell her, hey, by the way, you're flying first class. Like, I didn't give her any details. I just wanted her to
I think when
experience.
I got my ticket, I knew, because I think it said it on the ticket. So then I knew. But it was only like my second time traveling like by myself ever. I think the first one was like an hour flight somewhere. And then here I am flying by myself
12-hour flight
from LA to London. But so I get to the where should I start? Like my whole airport.
To the airport.
He
and
loves
like
this part.
The voucher.
So I like go to check in. I checked my bag, and the lady who's checking me in, she is like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I can't let you into the lounge because you're not 21 yet. Because there's just like open alcohol in the lounge apparently."
And she was less than a month from being 21.
Yeah, but I didn't know what a airport lounge was, so I was like, "Oh my gosh, no, totally fine. It's whatever. It's totally fine." And the lady felt like so bad, and I was like, "Don't feel bad. Like, it's fine." Just I had no clue what I was missing out on. And then she's like, "I can give you a food voucher." I was like, "Great, like perfect. I don't have to pay for the airport food. It's marked up anyways. I'll go get something good." So I check my bag, go through. I end up just getting like this pre-made, just like sandwich that's like in plastic in like a fridge at like
a turkey and cheese sandwich.
Not Starbucks, but whatever their coffee thing that was in the terminal was. And that's like what I ate because I was like, this is going to be a long flight. I'm going to like need to eat food. So
you're like, I don't want to have to like get hungry on the flight. Like, I should have a meal before I get on the plane.
Yeah.
So she got this pre-made turkey sandwich.
I had the sandwich, and then I got like a couple snacks of like nuts and whatever else I got. And so they call like my boarding group. I board the plane. And I like go to turn to like go to my seat, and I see like these freaking like cubicles of seats. And the flight attendant, when I walk in, they're like, "Champagne," and they like just handed everyone champagne, and I was like, and I was like, "Well, I can't really drink this, but I guess we're going to London, so I can't drink it." And so I like sit down in my seat, and this is the first time I've ever like been in a first class seat, and I'm like, Taylor has not prepped me at all. I'm very confused.
I didn't want to tell her anything. I don't know why. I kind of just like throwing her into the fire with stuff like this.
You really do. Jeez. It's a very common
fun
theme
for me.
But I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this TV, this bed, whatever. And then like someone comes up, asks like, I don't know what food, or asks for like a drink before we go up or something. I was like, no, I'm fine. And they're like, okay, let us know when you're ready to go to bed, and we'll make your bed for you. And I was like, what? Yeah, I was like, you don't need to make my bed for me. But then I now realize that that's what they do. But I was like, I don't need help doing that. Like, it's fine. I can do it myself.
They
'Cause
also have like award-winning chefs
yeah.
for like British Air, in like a 5-course meal. Yet
So
she just downed this
so
turkey.
we get up and they like pass out the menus and I'm looking over the menu and the flight attendant comes over and she's like, "What do you want for dinner?" And I was like, "Actually, like, do you have any fruit?" And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I just ate my $5 pre-made turkey sandwich. Um I'm too full to have my 5-course Michelin star meal now. I'll just take some fruit." Uh, and I was like, "Whatever you have is great." And she comes back. She was very, very confused why I wasn't eating food. But mind you, I had no clue what the food like. I didn't even know there was food. And then I saw a menu. I was like, I already ate. I'm fine. Also didn't know if it cost money, so I wasn't about to eat this 5-course meal. Um, and she comes back with this fruit basket. We're gonna put the photo up. This fruit basket. And the way the light was like hitting, it was this basket of like every fruit you could think of. It was the bougiest fruit basket ever. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is funny.
Just whole bananas,
Yeah.
oranges,
Yeah. Apples, everything.
kiwi. Oh, my favorite.
So that was that. And I munched on it a little bit for dinner. And then I like went and changed into the pajamas that they give you. And on my way back,
This truly was your Princess Diaries moment.
I know. On the way back to the seat, one of the flight attendants was like, "Do you want me to make your bed?" Um, and I was like, "I can do it. Can you just show me how to do it?" Because I felt bad making them do it.
Yeah,
Um,
I still do.
and they were like, "No, no, no, I'll do it." So then I felt so awkward just standing there, like having them do it. But then they like make up your bed with a comforter and a blanket and a pillow and all of these things. And then I tried to sleep, couldn't really because I was really excited. And then after dinner, well, after seeing everyone eat their food, I then understood that what was going on. So then at breakfast, I did get breakfast. We also have a photo of the breakfast too. Maybe we'll put it up. Um, then the breakfast was just immaculate. Um, but yeah, and I then that whole flight happens. Absolutely just insane. I get off the plane. There's a guy standing like with my name on a sign picking me up. I've never been picked up by a driver from the airport before. Also, I've never been to London, so it's my first time in London. And he's driving me, and I'm like loving looking out the windows, driving, just seeing everything. And I get to the hotel. Taylor's standing out there, and um, takes me up to his room, and he has I flew on Valentine's Day. So I landed the 15th. I left on Valentine's Day. And he had this big thing of like chocolate covered strawberries because those are my favorite, and like champagne, and like the past like 15 hours of my life have just been absolutely insane. So Taylor's like pumped. I'm there, so excited, like to show me everything, to take me to this new city that he loves too. And I'm just standing there like just like blank,
Mute.
like nothing's going on. And Taylor's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I'm so great. I'm really overwhelmed. I don't even know what's going on.
At first, I was like, oh, is she like regretting coming? Oh, dang. She wishes she didn't come.
Meanwhile, I'm just like completely stunned at what my life has been the past 12, 15 hours prior. But yeah, that was my like Princess Diaries experience.
Do you want to give one last small tidbit that I think the listeners would enjoy?
What?
Who was sitting next to you on the flight? So she lands in London. And did you know the whole time, or
No, we stood up.
Okay, yeah. So she lands in London, has been on this, plane for 12 hours. The lights come on. Everybody stands up out of their seat to walk off of the plane. And she looks over, and sitting next to her for this whole experience was Mr. Team Edward himself, Robert Pattinson.
Mm-hmm. co-star.
Did you freak out a bit? She's, for those that
I think I
don't
was
know,
more.
she is Team Edward.
I think I was more. I'm not anymore. Shush. I think I was more just freaked out by that because I was like, what are the odds? A, I'm flying to London. A, I'm flying on a first class seat.
There was 2 A's.
Oh, sorry. B, I'm flying on first class. I was trying to think about, well, they were both on the plane.
A, I'm flying to London. A, I'm in a first class seat. A, I have a driver.
A part 2, I'm in the first class seat. I'm going to see you, which is just like crazy because I never thought that would be happening. I'm having this crazy experience. Then out of like anyone possible on like these 15 seats up here, one of them is Rob, who like literally it was just, my mind was like, I can't process.
It's a pretty funny
things.
Story. I don't know.
The irony in it is just like, or the coincidence of it is just like wild.
Yeah. I get a kick out of that story. So
yeah.
Recently, we have been trying to be more careful about what we put in our body because it's just like, it's crazy what's out there. And even in things that are supposed to be good for you, there are such bad ingredients hidden in there.
Yeah.
But I feel like ever since we had Sherveen on, the founder of Symbiotica, he even just blew my mind to a whole nother dimension. And I feel like we've been extra careful and specific about, our daily supplements, just everything that we're putting into our body. And that's why we love Symbiotica so much.
Yeah, him and Symbiotica both believe that your mind and your body deserve the best. You shouldn't be, taking vitamins and sacrificing having to take something bad in it to be able to get the good out of it.
Yeah.
Their stuff is just good. It's
the best of the best.
Yeah. The highest sourcing grade, whatever you want to call it, it is. They really have topped their products. We recently just tried their charcoal.
Yeah. So they have, you probably know this, but they have the
liposomal packets.
They have the liposomal packets, which are probably the most popular, but then they have other ones. But one that I hadn't tried and I just did this morning was their activated charcoal one.
Yeah.
Also, I don't get how they get them tasting delicious too.
I know.
You would think because it's that great material, it's probably filthy disgusting.
Yeah.
But it actually is delicious.
I know. I was a little nervous when you brought that home, but it was great.
The charcoal one this morning was delicious. Yeah. How many times can I say delicious?
Delicious. They gave us 15% off code for you guys. So go to symbiotica.com and use code THESQUEEZE for 15% off site-wide. Again, that's code THESQUEEZE for 15% off site-wide.
Symbiotica. Ooh. Delicious.
Delicious. Were you scared to date a normal person?
I mean, at that point, before you, my longest relationship was with a normal person. I love that we call them a normal person.
That was also before you were like famous, so.
No, I wasn't. If anything, I didn't know you well enough at that point to know how you would interact when, we're over at a friend's house and one of the people at, a party is Justin Bieber. And like, I'd known you for 2 months at that point. So I didn't know how you, but that was just something I was going to learn and we were going to
hope for the best.
Yeah. And now we know that you're cooler around Justin Bieber than I am. No, I wasn't worried at all about that. Yeah. I already immediately when we started talking, it was incredibly refreshing. And I was like, this is awesome. So there wasn't that long of a curve where I was concerned about that because right off the bat, I was like, wow, you are cool. And yeah, you are truly refreshing. And you do a lot more important cool work than I do. Oh. You literally save lives. So that's much cooler to me than being in the industry.
Hey, everyone has an important job.
That is very true. Very true.
What makes the world go round?
I just respect yours a little bit more than mine. That's all.
Yeah. A lot of people have asked me this, and some of my friends I even feel like have witnessed it firsthand. Just kind of my introduction into the entertainment world, the industry world, um, how that was. And um, like we said before, you are always so, were and are still always so great with introducing me, making sure I'm part of the conversation. But obviously, it was a little more um, important to me when we first started dating, um, especially because I was in these new environments of going to an after party, going to uh whatever it may be, someone's birthday, a house party, whatever it was. Um, all very new environments for me, but um you did a very good job at including me in conversations. But I think the first like negative thing I experienced with it uh would be people brushing me off because I A wasn't famous, B didn't have anything to offer them, whatever it was. There would be times where you would be like you would be talking to a person, and then you'd be like, this is my girlfriend Tay, and then they literally be like, hi, and then just like not even like almost blocks me out of the conversation. That like
Yeah.
happened like quite a few times, or you
Mm,
would like try to involve me in the conversation, and people like literally could give two flying craps about.
two flying craps.
I I
Watch your
I
mouth.
changed the word I was gonna say. But they just didn't care to have a conversation with me at all. And happened multiple times throughout. I mean, honestly, before we even like went public with our relationship, I feel like that really happened. Even like in our home sometimes that happened. Um, and that was definitely like the first negative thing that kind of happened. I mean, luckily, um, I feel secure in myself, and you definitely made me feel secure. So, um, it we were like able to get through that. But it's definitely an interesting dynamic that the industry offers of like, oh, you can't bring anything to the table. Okay, thank you. Next.
Yeah. Rather than just humans are humans.
Yeah, and like
And
knowing people on like a personal level
yeah.
and not a materialistic level.
Yeah. And this is a huge thing for me, what she's talking about right now, because I've had to deal with it, almost my whole life. And there's nobody that I'm more protective of with that than her. So, yeah, if that wouldn't fly today. And I don't think it really happens today,
Yeah, no.
but
I feel like in the first year of us dating, we went out a lot, and we were like
yeah,
in places that it is more likely to have that response than the people,
yeah.
how we choose to spend our time now.
But my entire life and still today, the number one way I judge somebody's character is how they treat the people that I'm with,
Hmm.
not me. So if we're at an event, we're anywhere, and somebody wants to talk to us, whatever, if they are only interested in talking and looking at me when I say, and this is my friend X, Y, and Z, when somebody takes the time and,
Yeah.
when somebody takes the time to talk with friend X, Y, and Z just as much as me, I go, okay, this is a solid person.
Yeah.
But immediately when you start talking to people and you introduce them to your friends, your girlfriend, your family, whatever, and
Yeah.
they just zero in on you and act like your friend's family or girlfriend isn't even in the room.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm going to have this conversation and then we're going to start talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
That's
very
I
true.
definitely, people are nice to me. I know that. So I judge people's character based off how they treat my friends, my family, people that are with me,
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
We've been asked after we started dating and after it, was public, did you experience any sort of people coming out of the woodwork that you hadn't, heard from or talked to
Oh,
in years all of a sudden?
absolutely.
And how did that make you feel?
Um, it made me feel great. No, I don't know how it made me feel. No, I mean, maybe it did because it gave me like the opportunity to be like, oh, like now, like you just like made my high school experience like
Yeah,
you
who did this happen with? Obviously, you're not going to give any names, but is it mainly people from like school?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, people that I was one of those people that like knew everyone in high school, but I like knows everyone but friends with no one, like that type of thing.
Hmm.
Like I had like my few like close friends and like my dance team girls. Uh, but I didn't really like I knew I feel like I knew a lot of people, but that was kind of it. But I mean, yeah, I definitely like experienced bullying in high school, and when we started dating, the follows came on Instagram or the messages started coming in of like replying to a story of mine. OMG, so cute or whatever.
From people that weren't so nice to you in high school.
Yeah. And like totally forgiven them. Like high school's high school and obviously things are different, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna I'm not gonna turn around and be all fine and dandy friends with you
Yeah.
because you just like made me cry in a bathroom stall.
Yeah.
Or
You learn who your real friends are in this world when you are at your lowest,
yeah.
not your highest. When you're on top of the world, you're crushing it, everything's great, you have nothing going wrong in your life, everybody's going to want to be friends with you.
Yeah.
But when you're struggling, when you're going through that rough season, who's there? Who's showing up for you?
Yeah.
That's your real friends. I have a question out of curiosity for you.
Hmm.
Um, I think I might know this answer,
Uh-huh.
but if you had to choose one thing that has been the hardest about, being in a public relationship
Mm-hmm.
um, to this date, what would that be? Is there one moment you can think of or something that you're like, yeah, it's worth being married to you, but that one did suck.
Um, I mean, there's a couple that come to mind, but I think the the biggest one and definitely the one that definitely had the biggest impact on me was our wedding photos being leaked. Not leaked, but someone leaked where our wedding was, and paparazzi came and got some footage of us having our first look together and our bridal party photos and some photos of just the two of us. Um, and
Yeah, some intimate moments.
uh, that was hard, especially because we like went like our wedding day was just like truly like one of the best days ever. Everything absolutely went so perfect.
Yeah.
It was the most beautiful thing. Like literally, I was walking down the aisle saying, "Holy crap, this is not real right now." Like to the flowers, to the tableware, to everything was just out of this world. And we planned the entire thing, and I knew what it was going to look like. But
Yeah.
it was just such a perfect night.
All the people we had there
Yeah,
was perfect. We, had a pretty small wedding. I actually
yeah,
think it would be a very small wedding, I think.
yeah.
But just the perfect, group of people there.
An
And
intimate night that
yeah,
we wanted to be intimate and just kind of private. And then, the next morning we wake up and we're like on cloud nine, so excited, just like reminiscing. And then all of a sudden our wedding planner sent us a link to an article uh, that had photos of us in it. Um, from, yeah, from our first look. bridal party, ones of us two, like literally like Taylor and I's reaction to us like seeing each other for the first time in our little outfits. Um, and it was rough. Um, I think it like kind of took me a second to like process it because like going to the grocery store and getting photographed, going out to dinner, going to a party and like paparazzi following you or taking photos, that's like one thing. But from a day that was so intimate, but also such like an intimate moment, um, really just like wrecked me. And I felt so violated and like I think violated is just a word. Like it was just an invasion of privacy. And it was something that, I've dreamed of, you know,
Yeah.
getting
It's
married
the
and
invasion of privacy for sure. And it was a very intimate moment. They captured our first look, the first time we ever saw each other on our wedding day, in our dress and everything. So the moment itself was, an unfortunate one. But I think in addition to that, it also is just like you get so excited to, choose what photos, once you get your photos and stuff, what, you're going to release and share for the first time.
yeah,
And, um, that was kind of taken away from us as well
yeah,
because there's photos, crappy, horrible paparazzi photos plastered all over the internet.
yeah,
And, we lost that fun control of choosing what our favorite photos are for people to, see for the first time.
yeah. And it was just like my response to it was just like I literally just bawled.
Yeah, she took it a lot rougher than I did. I had to, but I got it. I was frustrated, but I was like, it's fine. We still, we still are gonna release all of our photos. Um, it's it's fine. It doesn't take away. That moment already happened. It was beautiful. It doesn't take away from that moment, but I could just tell she was really hurt and affected by it. So I had to just be there for her because I could see how upset she was.
You were very good at comforting me during that. And yeah, I think I was just really overwhelmed with well, I mean, we didn't announce anything about our wedding either. And that was like a choice that we made to keep everything leading up to it very private, because we wanted the day to be private and we wanted to have a moment with us and our closest friends and family. Uh, so yeah, that just kind of that was rough. And it definitely still gets me a little emotional thinking about how the effect that had on me. But we posted the photos and they look 10 times better than those did.
Absolutely.
But that would definitely be the hardest thing. Luckily, I don't think we'll ever have to go through that again or anything close to that. Um, maybe with a baby, but um, that was
Baby. What?
that was oh my gosh, Josh. Um, another thing that isn't that hard, but the wedding thing's definitely like the hardest part so far of being married to a celebrity. Um, the second thing that is just kind of weird, not really hard, but just weird, is you just have to see your ex girlfriends a lot. Some of them I enjoy seeing, and some other ones I enjoy seeing because I have been fans of them prior to knowing you. So that's why I still enjoy seeing them. But it's just weird that,
Yeah,
like,
it's just not normal.
yeah,
It's not normal to have to turn on Netflix or go on the internet and see photos or a movie.
yeah. Or if I want to watch a project of yours, it's probably an ex girlfriend in it.
Right.
Um, so that is definitely
Yeah.
like, when's the last time you saw an ex of mine? on,
Yeah, that's why I'm saying
you
it's
know?
not normal to
Yeah.
have to see that stuff
Yeah.
all the time. And you
It's a thought.
do very well with it. I would do much worse. And you know that. But yeah, I commend you with that. But hey, there are a couple exes that you are fine seeing.
Yeah, I enjoy seeing them a lot.
Okay, do we want to do a little fun part to end where we pull out your phone?
Yeah.
Maybe if you're okay with it, could I get it and just kind of rapid fire some questions
I
to
can grab it.
Okay. As Girl Tay is getting her phone, I am going to keep you entertained because that's what we do here on The Squeeze. We entertain. So I am going to sing you a rendition of... Oh, she's back. So sorry. I was prepared to deliver an incredible performance that Simon Cowell would have been proud of. But, time's a crunching.
Time's a crunching.
Let's get to the questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. So these are all questions from people that responded to Tay's story about what we should talk about on this fun surprise episode. Okay.
Okay.
Question number 1. Who snores more?
You.
Yep. That is the correct answer.
Do I ever snore? No.
No. You're an actual angel. You sleep like an actual angel.
Except that photo I got of you sleeping this morning was so cute.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, she was all cuddled up.
Okay. Tay, how did your parents feel when you started dating a celebrity?
Oh.
Yeah, that is a good question. How'd your parents feel?
Hi, Rem. Thanks for joining. That's a good question. I mean, my parents knew that you were into me before I knew you were into me.
That is
to
true.
be specific, my dad knew, which is crazy because I've never had that conversation with my dad before. But
I mean, usually when you do ask for somebody's number and you're texting them and whatnot.
But it was just laid back. It was just very. And then you followed me on Instagram when we were visiting family, and my dad was like, "Oh my gosh, he likes you." And I was like, "Dad, he just followed me on Instagram. He doesn't like me." Dad knew.
Her dad knew.
He knew.
For sure. Knew what I was up to and what my intentions were.
I think they were. Well, you came over before you left to film. You came over and met them.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't going to have you fly across the world to London to see a guy that they had never met before.
Yeah. No, you left a great impression. She's now passed, but our family dog, her name was Sky.
Mhm.
She would bark she mainly didn't like men. But if she liked your energy, sometimes she would only bark for a little bit, but she always barked at people, especially men. Taylor walked in the front door. Not a peep came out of her.
Nothing.
And me and my parents were both like, whoa, this dog knows that he's a good person. Clearly she knew that you were the one because here we are today. But that was wild. But
so maybe we have Sky to thank
Yeah.
for our relationship.
Our sweet, sweet Sky.
She
But
approved.
you did a great job at dinner, and you're a lovely human. So
Well, I
They
appreciate
loved you.
that. That's very kind. Here's one for you. What were your preconceptions of Boy Tay before meeting him, and how did that affect things?
I don't know if I had any. I never have been the type to pay attention to celebrity world. So I don't think I really and in my brain, you and the guy who played Jacob in Twilight are two different people. If that makes sense. Meeting you, it wasn't like I was meeting the guy that was in Twilight. But I guess at first I didn't know if it was just me you were talking to, or how if you did date people, if you just dated around. I didn't know what the rundown was. So I was definitely a little bit nervous in the beginning of intentions or what it was gonna look like.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Are y'all's astrology signs accurate?
I have no clue.
Yeah, see, I don't know. We don't know too much
I
about,
think mine's accurate. I'm a
but
Pisces.
mine, from what I know about mine seems accurate, and I think yours does too.
Yeah.
I am
What? So
an
I've been told.
Aquarius.
So I've been told that I am my sign.
Are you?
Pisces.
Pisces.
Yeah.
Pisces, Aquarius.
Let us know.
Yeah. Let us know if
we're compatible.
If we're compatible and if we seem like we would be an Aquarius and a Pisces, because we don't really know too much about it. Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Advice on how to communicate better. Yeah, obviously communication is a massive part of a relationship.
Yeah. I think learning the other person's communication styles and styles of like fighting and conflict, maybe that's the better word, not fighting, styles of conflict and how they address conflict would definitely be good, because you don't want to like approach like your partner in a combative way if they are combative with, like, if that's how they respond. But I think just when you're in a relationship that is very trusting, like I know that I could like tell you anything and you would still love me, and still care for me, that the trust and the respect level of me coming to you being like, hey, I'm struggling with this, or hey, I didn't like when you did this, knowing that it's coming from not an attacking place, but from a place of like wanting to build the relationship.
Yeah. But I do think it is super helpful to just right up front talk about or figure out how each of you differentiate in conflict.
Yeah.
For example, me and Tay are very different. I want to like talk about it right away and resolve it. Tay's like, she kind of like shuts down and needs like a moment to process it. And if you were to go at it right away, she just honestly wouldn't have much to say. And then I'm like frustrated because I'm like, what? Like, are you mad at me? Like, what are you? And she just needs that like kind of processing moment. So just
then sometimes I say something that I don't mean, or that like is interpreted wrong, but I didn't even mean it that way.
You don't do that often though.
I've learned not to I just don't speak now.
But yeah, I think just figuring out what each of your, how you both handle conflict and, finding a middle ground or just respecting the other person.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you disagree about the most? What do we disagree about the most? Okay. Well, I got an answer.
Go.
I would say on what to do for fun or what to do like at the end of the day.
Yeah. The wind down time is an interesting time in this household.
Like I'll want to like watch a show, watch a movie, just like at the end of the day at night, go to a movie. I don't know what else.
Hey, we're going to one tonight. So.
We are going to a movie tonight. But yeah, often you just don't want to do that.
Yeah, sometimes, especially if it's been a long day, I literally just want silence alone in like my bathtub, or like put Friends on and just have like
she
nothing
wants,
that
like,
I need to be
like
emotionally,
mindless TV. Yeah. You want like something playing like Friends.
Something safe that I know I've seen it before.
That you don't have to fully pay attention to.
Yeah. Or a doc. I like docs.
So do I.
But I don't. Taylor will want to watch shows that are like suspenseful and have good storylines. And I just don't. I'm like, there's enough drama in my day. I don't need to watch a drama.
Okay. Noted. What is the secret to maintaining such a happy relationship? I think we've touched on this already not too long ago, but I think respect is the beginning of it all. because you can have disagreements. You can, have arguments. You can like whatever. But as long as you have a mutual respect for one another, you know that the disagreement you're going through is just a little hiccup that you're going to figure out because you both love each other, but like who the other person is. Like you respect who they are as a human. And if they did something to hurt your feelings, you know that they didn't do it to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
You know that
it wasn't intentional.
Yeah. So I think finding that mutual respect, deep respect for each other as humans.
Yeah. And I think remembering, like, someone said this to us, but just to like date each other. Mm-hmm. So like go out to dinner dates, go like set aside time to do fun things like that.
Yeah. It's very true.
I think it's important.
Okay. What is the littlest things that you do for each other that you appreciate the most? I enjoy a little thing I like doing for you. This isn't really the question, but a little thing I like doing for you that I hope you appreciate the most is I love just getting her flowers. She loves flowers. So if I go to the grocery store, because I love grocery stores, I love just like surprising her with flowers when I come back. Of course you love it, and it doesn't happen too often, but if I just happen to decide to clean up the kitchen and wipe down those counters and put the dishes away and get the kitchen looking all sparkly and clean, you definitely very much appreciate that.
I do. This would probably be it. I feel like you, little things I appreciate are like if we're out, like you just like putting your hand on my back or like on my leg. I love those little things.
Yeah. I like when you want to work out with me.
Oh.
That makes me happy, genuinely.
Yeah.
I like when you want to watch a show with me, not called Friends.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. And I like when you want to cuddle in bed.
Normally that's me wanting you to cuddle.
Well, I need to separate and differentiate cuddle time and sleep time.
Yeah, when you let me... Oh, no. I know mine.
Oh, boy.
When you let me put my feeties on you in bed.
She has the coldest feet on planet Earth.
Just like stick one little foot in between his little legs.
And she wants to put a frickin' ice toe on my hamstring while I'm trying to fall asleep and just using me as a personal heater.
It's
for
only
her
cold for like
chips.
2 seconds. It's cold. But sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll like, if I'm far from Taylor, I want to like be close to him. So I'll like just like extend my leg and like put a toe on him. And if he's like half awake, he'll literally go,
I love to cuddle. Love to cuddle. But it needs to be a designated cuddle time.
Yeah, you're one of those people.
Let's cuddle the crap out of each other during cuddle time. But during sleepy time, don't touch me.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate. When do you plan to have kids?
Oh, who asked that? Is there a name?
Anna.
Oh, Anna. That's a good question.
Anna.
I don't know. That's not really on our radar at the moment. Yeah. We're excited to be married.
It's on our radar. I'll make this a little juicier. It's on our radar for the future.
Great.
We both very much want to have kids.
We definitely want kids.
And are super excited for that. Just not at this exact moment.
We're enjoying just the two of us time.
Yes. But who knows? It'll definitely be in our future.
Yeah.
Let's do a couple more. Who was interested in who first? That would be myself.
That would be yourself.
Yeah, because
I had no clue.
For those of you that don't know the story, we were basically set up by my sister. My sister was friends with Tay and called me up and was like, you need to meet this new friend of mine. Funny enough, her name's Taylor too. And I think she could be your future wife. And I was like, okay. And I threw a game night at my house, and Tay was just one of my sister's friends that came over, and we were on the same team for running charades, and we freaking crushed it.
Heck yeah.
And that was the moment I knew.
Yeah.
And yeah, it took a while for her to realize that I had more intentions than just being friends with my sister's friend.
Yeah. Yeah. You were just very kind to me as well. And I was used to like abrasive. And I had also just gotten out of
Abrasive hitting on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd also just gotten out of a relationship. So
Yeah.
wasn't really looking.
Yeah. Do you struggle with your age gap? My husband, 8 years older, is worried about ours.
Honestly, the only complication is Taylor didn't watch SpongeBob, so I quote SpongeBob and he doesn't know what I'm saying. Oh, sorry, bro. That would probably I mean, I don't know. I act like I'm older than I am, so I kind of forget that there is an age gap. It is kind of nice for me though, as I'm like getting older. I've seen Taylor turn these ages, so I'm like, oh,
you know what's coming.
Yeah, I'm like, this isn't scary.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna survive. We're gonna live.
Yeah, I'm walking through the dark, scary field before you, so you're like, that's what's coming in 5 years.
Yeah, you're taking the lead for that one, but
yeah, no, we definitely don't feel it. We're 5 years. We don't feel it at all. And I would say to whoever this is, and I'm not going to say your name, but if your husband is worried about yours, that may be a conversation you want to have. I'm assuming you're being...
I'm sure there's a reasoning behind that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's a hilarious joke or funny story here. Who kissed who first? Yeah?
Yeah, I did.
You do stick to this story. I'll give you that.
Story? That's the facts.
What? What happened?
We were like right there and you just weren't making a move. So then I went in.
I am terrified of making moves. It's just something, I don't think it's a strength of mine.
No, I made the move. You're welcome.
Okay, but I set up the move.
You set it up. Yeah.
I laid all the groundwork and I set it up nice for you. And you just had to do the last inch.
You got the assist.
Okay, thank you. Okay, last one.
Okay.
Somebody would like to know, how did he plan his proposal to you?
Ooh.
I need to give my boyfriend some pointers. All right, so planning the proposal. This was, well, technically the question was for you, but you didn't know how
Yeah, well, maybe they're asking you.
Okay. Yeah, I really, really wanted it to be an awesome surprise. We had been, and I recommend this, everybody's different, but we had openly been talking about, plans of marriage and getting engaged, within a time period. Like, I don't like the whole, we just don't talk about it at all. And there's a chance that somebody could get on one knee and they're not on the same page.
Yeah.
Just why not openly talk about all of that?
Yeah.
You should have talked about marriage.
I mean, definitely for some people that's a hard conversation, but
yeah,
it definitely helped that we loved each other and both saw a future and both were very open about knowing we were going to spend forever together.
Yeah.
Long before we actually got engaged.
And we both wanted to make sure for each of us that we both were in the right stage of life and mental headspace and work space, just everything. We both wanted to be in a place where we were like, okay, now feels like a great time. But with that being said, I did want it to be a shock. So Tay had brought up to me that she was going to be going to this event thing. But the event, it wasn't at one specific time. She kind of decide when she wanted to go. So I got a hold of one of our friends who she was going to go with. And I was like, hey, I know you guys are going to go to this thing. Can you schedule it for this time on this day? Because I eventually knew the day that I wanted to do it, which was 11/11, because Tay loves numbers and meanings behind numbers, and I finally decided 1111 is the day. And then I even thought so far out that 11/11/21 was when I was going to propose, and the next year 11/11/22, which she was going to really love those numbers, we could get married if we wanted. And because I looked and saw it was a weekend, and on the night I proposed to her, I told her, if you want to get married a year from today, let's do it. And that's what we ended up doing. But she goes with our friend to this event, and the second she leaves the house, I have a few of our best friends show up and set up the house. I used to always just openly ask Tay, like, how do you want me to propose? What would you like? What's your dream world here? And she all the time was like, I don't care. Like, this is just Tay's personality. She doesn't care. She's not a bougie person. She doesn't need anything special. Sometimes it's fantastic. Sometimes it's annoying. But she was like, I don't care. Just do it in the kitchen one day. Like, I just want to be engaged. I just want to be with you.
I was also at the point where I was like, okay, we're really encroaching on some time we've been together. But no, I did always want an engagement that was like at home, like while I'm doing the dishes, just like I turn around and you're like, on a knee, something intimate and special and simple.
Yeah. So I did do it at home in the kitchen like she had requested, but I like to say that I did it big in the kitchen. Yeah. So all of our best friends showed up right after she left the house, and for a few hours helped me set this up. If you haven't seen photos of it, you can go on either of our Instagram pages.
We'll pull some up.
Okay, we'll pull some up. I had the help of a friend who is one of the best florists in the world, Mr. Jeff Leatham. Helped me out with some incredible flowers. Yeah, we set this sucker up, and when they were on her way home, her friend was keeping me updated the whole time, and she walked in the house, and I had a really special song playing throughout the house, which ended up being the song that she walked down the aisle to, that one of our best friends recorded for us.
Yeah.
And I got down on one knee and I locked that up.
You did?
And we went and we had a little dinner after, and I think that's where I told you that 11/11 next year is a Friday, and we can do it if you want to.
I know. It was so special. I remember being at dinner, like flipping my ring into my hand, because I didn't want people to know, because I was enjoying our moment so much. So I was like hiding my hand all dinner.
And we went to one of our favorite restaurants on the planet. But another thing I remember about being at dinner afterwards is I was like, I don't really want to be here right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even that hungry. Kind of just want to be on the couch or whatever, just soaking this in with you. So if I did have advice, and obviously everyone's different, maybe don't schedule a dinner.
Or maybe do it after
right
dinner.
After. Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that's how most people would do it. I think the choice for me to go, let's get engaged and then say, all right, let's hop in the car and now go to dinner was.
Hey, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
And then we got home from dinner, and our friends had helped set up her there, so I got to see them, which I was very excited about.
Yeah, we got to celebrate with them.
Yeah. And then we left the next day to go celebrate in Paso, where we ended up getting married. Yeah.
Full circle moment.
Love that.
Well, thank you for all of your questions you submitted.
Yes.
Thank you for questions you've emailed so we could talk about this, subject and all the stuff we talked about today. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did.
Yeah, this was fun just doing the two of us.
Yeah.
Should we do more of
I
these?
think we should do more.
Let us know in the comments if we should.
Yeah. If you honestly,
Yeah.
please do let us know in the comments
Because
because
if you didn't like it, we won't do it.
noted, no hurt feelings,
Yeah.
maybe a little, but no hurt feelings, and we'll never do it again.
Yeah, but if you want us to, let us know what we should talk about next time.
Yeah, give us more topics because
Yeah.
that's fun and very helpful.
Yeah. As always, you can follow us on Instagram at the Squeakies, Tay and Taylor. Also Lemons by Tay on Instagram and lemonsbytay.com for additional resources. We have that email, which is below if you can't catch it as I'm saying it. Lautner.thesqueezepodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great
Rest of your week.
rest of your week. We will see you.
West of your reek.
Yep. Rest of your week. We will see you next Wednesday. And as my shirt says, tell someone that you love them.
I like that.
Yeah.
Today, by the end of the day, make sure you've told somebody you love them.
I'm telling the person listening to this right now that I love you.
Okay. You heard it.
We love you guys, and we will see you next week.
All right. Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation.